Hello students, my name is Dr. Kusieski and I'm your facilitator for OAD 100 Beginning Keyboarding Online. This vodcast is going to demonstrate the procedure for you to use to complete your technique evaluation. Since this is an online course, I can't observe you at the keyboard like I do in my face-to-face classes. So instead, I ask you to self-evaluate your own technique. So let's get started. I've already logged into my Ozone and Blackboard, and your screen could look a little different from this. You will see some announcements here. Also, when you play this back, you may need to use a vertical scroll bar to scroll down and see some of the areas that I'm talking about in this particular vodcast. So let's start with, at the left-hand side, the button labeled Technique Evaluation. Now, I tell my students in the classroom, if I don't use proper technique, I make mistakes at the keyboard. Now you might say, well, I can backspace them away. Every time you backspace, that could be another keystroke you could be typing. That could make the difference in your grade from 24 words a minute to 28 words a minute. And on the 3-minute timing, that makes a difference to your grade. Make sure you read the screen about what are technique evaluations, etc. And I've provided an example for you on what it will look like when you're done. Let's scroll down and first look at the form. What I recommend is that you print the form out and post it right next to where you do your keyboarding lessons. So I'm scrolling down, going to the technique evaluation form. I'm clicking that link to open up this form. It is a PDF file, opens in Adobe, and that's a free program that's loaded on all computers. So here we are looking at the form. In the classroom, I use this top portion, but you won't be using it in the class. You could, if you wanted to print these out and tally, you could use it. But if you take a look, there are 3 main sections to this: the workstation, posture at the keyboard, and keystroking. So you look at each of those because it tells you what you should be doing at the workstation, how it should be set up for proper technique. Some of the areas that are often found to need improvement are here under keystroking. Number 9, hands resting at the bottom of the keyboard. Now, if you are on a laptop, I realize some of these will vary. So number 9, for example, if you're on a laptop, you might want to indicate that. It also depends on the laptop you have as to how much space you have on the laptop before you have the keyboard. But the idea is you should never rest your hands on the desktop, the palms of your hand, because that can develop some aches and pains and long-term injury to your hand unless you use one of those wrist gel rest. You know, you can purchase those and you can put it right at the base of the keyboard. But these are the 12 items you're going to look at. And you could click the print button here and print this out. So I'm going to hit the back button to go back to the previous screen. So let's look at this second paragraph. Use that form we just looked at and evaluate your keyboarding technique. What you do is you click the assignment link, and in the comment section you enumerate 1 through 12 and you indicate right here if the technique is acceptable or needs improvement. What I really recommend is you can fill out the form if you want, or on another sheet of paper you can pencil out your responses and then type from your penciled responses. So as we scroll down here, you will see the links right here. Keep in mind they're not due every Monday. I give you a break occasionally, but there's one due January 18th. So click the link. Here is the comment section I was talking about. So number 1, type 1 period. I can't remember what that one is, but let's say it's acceptable for you. For the second one, 2 period. Let's say you need improvement, so it needs improvement. Enter. 3 period. Let's say that one's acceptable for you. Enter. 4 period. Let's say you need improvement in that one. Enter. Number 5. Let's say that's acceptable for you. So you get the idea here. And this is as simple as it actually is. Keep in mind at the beginning, you could have a lot of needs improvement. And as time goes on, those will turn into acceptables. And it might be that on an occasion, one week, you had one of those items is acceptable, but the next week at the time you evaluate it, it needs improvement. And then when you're all done, you scroll down and there is a submit button here, and you would press the submit button. And notice it says the assignment has been updated, etc. Now I'm logged in as an instructor, so your screen here could look a little bit differently, but I'm going to go ahead and hit OK there. So that's how you do it. And you can see all the links here, so you can see when they're due. But likewise, you can go to the assignment button on the left here and scroll down here, and you can see each week when a technique evaluation is due. It says, technique evaluation, see the button. See the button. So that means go to the technique evaluation button to do that. And that's it for this vodcast on technique evaluation. Please take this seriously, and if you have any questions throughout the time that you're taking this course, please give me a call. Oh, I forgot one other thing I wanted to share with you. Go to the external links button and go to posture at the keyboard and review this. There is some narrative about proper posture too, but there are some graphics that are very helpful. So I wanted to make sure I pointed this out. Plus at the external link button, I provided some other links here that you might find helpful. So now finally, this is the end of this vodcast.